All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. It is Monday, October 30th, 2023. Glad to be with you this morning. Welcome to GAR Capital's YouTube channel. I am your host, the CEO and founder of GAR Capital, 9 years strong, Carlos Garcia. Glad to be with you. Let's go ahead and go over the markets. Of course, that's why you're here. Kind of talk about what we're seeing. Did a video last night on the blog for everybody. I talked to Nick DiGiacomo, one of our VPs. We were talking about levels. We were talking about the past week, kind of previewing the next week and everything like that. So if you are interested in that video, it is available on our YouTube channel. So you don't miss any future videos. Make sure to turn on notifications and make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button if you like these videos. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures up 198 points. NASDAQ up 0.69%. S&P up 0.60 as well, 4162 currently. 1657 on the Russell, that's up 0.76%. 10-year Treasury yields starting to bounce a little bit. We're at 4.903%. Dollar index is down 0.30% at 106.24. 2072 on the VIX, that's down 2.5% this morning. Crude oil is down 1.5% at 84.22. Gasoline futures continuing to slide as well, $2.27. Gold futures above 2,000. Looks like we're going to probably break out very, very soon. We're going to go and chart that together. 2008 up 0.51%. 2360 for silver futures up 3%. Copper as well is up $3.68, up 1.18%. Going to Forex land, euro dollar 106.11, up 48 pips. Dollar yen, we closed out our short on Friday, and I used the analogy to the members. I said, you know, sometimes you just want to go ahead and take your wins, you know, especially with the weekend. Let's get a little something in our pocket with that dollar yen trade. We shorted at 150. We got out at 149.50 for a 50-point gain. And I used the analogy. I said, hey, when the dealer's showing you 210s and you got 210s, don't split them in blackjack. Just take the sure thing, unless they have a blackjack, obviously. Dollar yen, again, 149.72. Still bouncing, bounced overnight as well. Looking for a re-entry to short again. Let's see if we can break that 149 to 140, 149.50 to 149.40 zone, and then we can see if we can go ahead and catch that momentum down. But again, we're getting a bounce. Dollar Canadian dollar 138.29. That's one pair that I didn't have on my board, and I went ahead and added it to the watch list because that's one of the better pairs to trade, because we can use that as a proxy for crude oil. So when crude oil kind of dips and the Canadian dollar dips against it, that would mean dollar Canadian dollar goes higher. There's a lot of different variations in terms of Forex, in terms of like fundamental linkage. Again, if you're kind of bullish China, their biggest trade partner in terms of Forex, in terms of the major pairs would be the Aussie. Aussie and Kiwi, that's the New Zealand dollar. That tends to kind of move together as well. Euro tends to be a little more risk on, so does the pound. Risk off is more the Switzerland franc and the Japanese yen, and then of course the US dollar. So again, there's a lot of stuff in terms of Forex, but I'm glad that I put that on the watch list. It's been due. I should have put that there a long time ago. Pound dollar 121.42. That's up 20 pips this morning. Bitcoin futures tagging that 35,000 level. We're now up 2.5%. Let's see if we crack that 35,000 level. 1822 for Ethereum futures as well. Stones throw away from 2,000, up 1.79%. Good morning, everyone. I do have a Microsoft trade open. So let's go ahead and see on the 15-minute chart in terms of levels that we want to get to. We want to get back above 338. So again, Friday's price action wasn't the best, but again, held on to this trend line here on the 1 hour. That's a good sign. So again, we really want to just get back to 338. I have the 345 calls for this week. And again, looking just to retest back at this level. Microsoft has held up stronger in terms of the NASDAQ and in terms of the S&P. So any kind of rally that we would get in terms of an oversold bounce, which is to be expected, I think Microsoft would be a better beneficiary than, let's just say, an Apple at this point, because Apple reports earning this week as well. So those premiums would be juiced. Let's go to S&P 500 futures, see what we're looking at this morning. So we're back to this 50% retrace. We bounced above it. Could this be a wick? Could this be the bottom? Again, at least until 4,300 in my opinion. You got to get above the 20. Again, the 20-day is something that we always look at in terms of momentum. That'll get us above the August highs from 2022. It's really a sell the rally moment here. We need to see some sustained bounces to make up for these pullbacks here. We're getting into November. November tends to be strong. October, as we know, seasonally weak in terms of seasonality. So again, December as well in a pre-presidential year, we expect December to rally. Does that mean we're going to get into all-time highs? Is what I called, hey, the year ain't over. Okay, so I know it looks bad now. I mean, that would be pretty crazy if we can get to 4808. But listen, if we get to 4600, 4700 by the end of the year, again, I know I'm asking for a lot here. If the seasonality holds, I won't be too upset, let's just say. But again, we'll see if we start getting any kind of sustained rallies. I think as of right now, this just has this dead cat bounce, a sentiment where, yeah, you're going to get some snapback rallies just on oversold conditions, fair enough. And at that point, you're probably looking to sell those bounces. So again, we do have Apple reporting earnings. McDonald's reported earnings. They did well. But Apple reports on Thursday. And we also have AMD tomorrow. So we want to get those tech earnings out of the way. We got a Fed this week, the FOMC on Wednesday. We got Powell speaking. Maybe we get a little run up into that number on that report on Wednesday. We also got a jobs number on Friday. So remember the last time we had that jobs number? It was pretty strong. And again, that looked like to be a dead cat bounce as well, since we went ahead and rolled over anyway. So many moving parts this week. We need to be extremely careful. There's a lot of landmines out there that we kind of have to sidestep in order to make sure that we have the same kind of week we had last week, which was 5 for 5, 2 of them being masterclass, 3 for 3 in options. Got 1 L on futures. That was on me. I was trying to play that support, got stopped out. But if I would have held, we'd be, I think, nearly green now. So we'll see what we get moving forward in terms of the market today. I don't know what to expect other than the fact that a kind of a dead cat bounce, even something green is still something to hang your hat to. But at the end of the day, are we still expecting a little lower? Unless the charts tell us otherwise, because Powell can just talk on Wednesday and just nuke this thing. Or he could soar this thing. So we're really at a point of just like, man, we just need to be careful. But if we start breaking the lows of 4120, 4,000 is definitely in play. The 200-day moving average on S&P is going to be important. That's what we want to take a look at. Top of the morning. 339.28. That's going to be a key level for the NASDAQ. Again, we broke that on the S&P. So again, we want to see if QQQ tags that 200-day. It's a level that we defended back in March. This is what the SVB issue and everything like that. So that's going to be very, very important for us to keep up that moving average. We're nowhere near anything in terms of bearishness on QQQ. Again, we have S&P and QQQ in correction territory is all. And corrections happen usually every about 14 months on average. So again, it's not something to be absolutely afraid of. No, I just thought we would hold that 200-day. Not good, but we still have 2 months left in the year with a strong November and a strong December. A lot of bears out there, a lot of fear out there. How much is this baked in? Well, if we get some kind of hope, like last year in October 2022, do we get that rally? Do we fade that rally? I think for the time being, until we get above 4,300 S&P, it seems to be a fade the rally market. At least that's my thoughts. And again, I've been wrong before, but that all-time high call, it still stands. I still have it pinned on Twitter, so I'm not going to hide from my analysis. Maybe this market could show me a little something. We got 60 days, 62 days, let's say, for the end of the year. Let's see what the market gives us. With that being said, I do want to take a look at IWM. We did tag those 3-year lows, guys. Tough. Kind of a typical place to bounce if you were looking for a dead cat bounce, because you're breaking below the October lows of last year. Very tough to see for small caps, as I thought they were going to do well this year on our top 10. So just been an ugly third, beginning to the fourth quarter. 160.54, that's your 100-month moving average. So now we're really stretching the period out. How long can this hold? 160.64, if that does break down, well, yeah, then things are not going to look good at all for the small caps. Just terrible to see. My goodness. Just to give everyone a little bit of context here, look how low we got in COVID. Sub 95. Jeez. I mean, the fact, if you can see the COVID lows on your chart and you're starting to break some moving averages, it doesn't look great moving forward, especially if you're bullish. But man, we cannot have just tech stocks, guys. It needs to be the banks. It's got to be the industrials. It's got to be materials. We got to see utilities bid. I mean, healthcare. It's not enough for Amazon to carry the market or Microsoft to carry the market. No, no, no. We need energy to also bid too. So with crude oil kind of chopping around, obviously we have geopolitical issues in the Middle East. It's going to be one of those very delicate ropes that we gotta have to kind of cross as we move forward. We can't just make decisions willy-nilly on just one single day's price action. I do expect Microsoft to move higher, especially with this move. Would I short anything here? Semiconductors you can't, because you got AMD tomorrow. And when it comes to consumer discretionary or technology stocks or even the Qs, you're beholden to Apple on Thursday. So could they have a great quarter like an Amazon? Could they have a bad quarter or an ugly quarter like a Google? We will see. How much has Huawei eaten to their China competition? How is India? How are those handsets? How is demand? How is that services growth? What's the guidance? Are they going to do any buybacks? So many pieces that we got to look into in terms of Apple, as it is the most valuable company on planet Earth, the heaviest weight on the S&P. Very, very important to everyone. Even if you don't own shares of Apple, if you own an S&P 500 fund in your 401k or retirement, it matters because Apple's in it. So we'll go and leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow for the morning note as well. And I will also catch you guys on the Mark blog on Discord. If you're interested in joining, it's free for everybody. Make sure to take a look at the description below, and we will see you there. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Cheers.